And we're back with Rings of Power, this time Season 2, Episode 5. Yep, we are officially into the second half of this season, and I have been enjoying it so far, very much so. Every episode has just gotten better according to my rankings, and yeah, last episode was fun. We met Tom Bombadil for the first time. Interesting character. We met the Stores for the first time, a bunch of desert hobbits. We saw some Ents, not to mention an Ent wife as well, a female Ent, because there's none of those left during the time of Lord of the Rings. So, and there is a army of orcs on their way to Eregion, where Sauron is, and Galadriel has been captured by them and Adar. And I wonder if she's going to spill the tea a little bit about Halbrand and Sauron being one and the same. Interesting stuff. As well as the other stuff we didn't catch up with in the last episode, like the Numenor stuff as well, or the Dwarven stuff. There's a lot of things going on at the moment. A lot of different stories heading. There's a lot of different stories going on at once, and they're all heading in one direction. So let's see where this goes. So let's just get into Season 2, Episode 5 of Rings of Power, starting right now. Okay, so since Rings of Power is unfortunately a Patreon exclusive series, there will be no reaction this video. Instead, you'll be getting the after episode review. But for any of you who want a slight glimpse into what you're missing over on the Patreon, here's a few clips. Ooh. He did get something. Oh! Celebrimbor is asking the right questions, and he is resisting where it seems too good to be true. Okay. Wow, okay. Not liking this. Okay, so back to the video. The 9 are in the process of being made already! Okay, I need to plug this in just so I don't run out of battery. Ooh, this was such a good episode. Once again, where do I rank this? Oh wait, I already know. It's going to the top. Things just keep ramping up every episode. This season is so good. Things just keep ramping up over and over again. Once again, an episode where we didn't have everything that we had last episode. We didn't have a Arondir and Isildur this time. We didn't have the Stranger and Nori and Poppy and the whatever in Rune this time. But we were back with the dwarves, Celebrimbor and Sauron. And we were back with the Numenor stuff, which infuriated me. I can't keep going on without knowing this fucking twink guy's name. Who is he? Let's see. What is the fucking little dickhead's name? Kemen. Okay, yeah. Pharazon's son, Kemen. What a little twat he is. Ooh. He's kind of like he's kind of like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. He doesn't have the bloodlust of it. He doesn't have like the little psychoticness of Joffrey. But god damn is he a fucking little skinny fucker who you can tell doesn't know a fucking thing about fighting. And yet he has all this fucking power to do whatever he wants. Oh, and Valandil as well. We lost Valandil. I wouldn't say I was hoping for him to be one of the 9, but it was like he was a mortal character from the race of men that we've had quite a lot of screen time with, and it would have been interesting to see his path to maybe becoming a ring wraith. But that's not the case anymore. He died out of pure loyalty to Elendil. And everything that is happening. You know, for a second, maybe I felt a bit of sympathy for Kemen when Pharazôn was like, your mother said that you would have an ill fate, and when Kemen asked what did he mean, he was like, do this task and I'll tell you. If not, then I have no use for you anymore. So maybe there was a little sympathy then, but it was quickly taken away by the other scenes. I can't stand the Aarion either. Like, she's doing all this against Miriel because she believes that Miriel is responsible for Isildur's death. Well, by going against Miriel, you're disrespecting what he stood for, what he stands for still. She doesn't know he's still alive. You're disrespecting what he stands for. I wonder how she's gonna feel. I mean, obviously, Kemen kind of saw like there was some feelings between Aarion and Valandil, and that obviously took a factor into what he did. But I wonder how Aarion is going to feel now that she when Elendil has to be the one to tell her that Kemen is the one who killed Valandil. I wonder how she's going to feel then. Or will she still keep being an ignorant little bitch? Oh my god. You know what? Lord of the Rings never made me feel this angry at a character. I didn't even feel this much hatred at Gollum. You know what? I don't even think there was a character in Lord of the Rings that I specifically just hate. Maybe Grima Wormtongue. And Denethor as well. But even they didn't make me feel the way that Kemen and Aarion do. It's just going on with this fucking vindictive way of ruling and having a smug look on their face while they're doing it. Ooh. And now Elendil is being locked up, but Elendil has the faith of the people. He has the faith of the soldiers. And I wonder how that's going to factor into this civil war, if it does come to that, between Pharazôn and Elendil, because I think Miriel has dropped herself out of the race at this point. So it's going to come down to either Pharazôn or Elendil. And Elendil eventually does become king, but I don't think it's king of Numenor. And you know what? For all these characters, the parts that I don't like about them, I am just waiting for the comeuppance when they realise how badly they fucked up. For Galadriel, I'm waiting for the moment when she finds out that she can't be part of the battles anymore, otherwise she just causes more harm than good. Can't wait for Aarion, Kemen and Pharazôn to get their comeuppance as well, if they're all still there when Numenor eventually sinks into the ocean. I wonder if they're still there then. I wonder what will happen to King Dorin, because you can already tell the effect of the rings. Well, the effect of the ring he's wearing it's already taken effect on him. A little bit of Gollum vibes there for a second when he thought that what's his name, Narvi, had took the ring, and then relief when he saw it was still there. And then just digging into Khazad-dûm and digging too greedily, too deep, looking for gold, very reminiscent of The Hobbit, and it's coming up to the points when we know it's going to lead to Lord of the Rings with the Balrog. Oh, is my camera losing its battery? I'm not so sure. Maybe I'll try and get as much in as I can before this runs out of battery. And yeah, and he's getting a bit greedy as well. He's getting a bit greedy, digging for the gold, digging too greedily, too deep. Also with the making the costs a bit higher as well. The ring something like basically charging twice as much for everything, and then giving the rings to the other dwarven kingdoms and saying, give me half of your mines in return for the rings. Oh, and then he's like, yeah, he's got the power to do what the Stone Singers have always done. Okay, so it's the next day now. I completely forgot to talk about the rest of the episode in last night, so I'm doing it today before I record 6, 7 and 8. So what was it? I think the only thing I had to talk about still was the Sauron and Celebrimbor stuff, and crossing over from the dwarven stuff was Narvi introducing to the elves the doors of Durin, the doors that we will eventually see in the Lord of the Rings as the doors of Moria, and saying that it's a symbol between dwarves and elves, a symbol of friendship between dwarves and elves, because I think that's something that a lot of people who watch Lord of the Rings for the first time ask themselves, like, why with dwarves? Because you already see the relationship between Legolas and Gimli when it first starts, that elves and dwarves don't like each other. And then when you get to Moria, a dwarven kingdom, the people who watch Lord of the Rings for the first time are like, why does a dwarven kingdom have elven doors with an elven password? So this is explaining that quite well. Like, it's a symbol of a time when they were friends. The two races were friends. So it's fun to see the seeds of that here. And Sauron, he really has to push his timeline now. He has to get a bit impatient because he knows that Adar is on the way. And he needs to get those 9 rings created before they get here. And he was in the process of doing that this episode. You know what? A lot of people say, like, it's funny that season 1 is called Rings of Power. It took 8 episodes to actually get any Rings of Power, and yet we've had the 3. We got the 3 last season. We've had the 7 this season, and now we're creating 9 more. Like, we're progressing quite fast with getting these rings made. So the 9 are already being forged, and as someone who loved the Nazgul in the Lord of the Rings, I'm so excited to see who those rings go to. Obviously, Valandil has been taken off the table now. Theo is still a potential chance. I wonder if Pharazôn or Kemin factor into that at all, because there's only, like I said before, there's few mortal characters from the race of men who can qualify to be part of the 9. I thought Valandil was one of them, but that's not the case anymore. Elendil is off the table, Isildur is off the table. The only ones I can really think of now are Theo and Kemin and Pharazôn. Those are the only 3 I can think of right now. So maybe we've got more we've definitely got more characters to introduce, because I feel like we've got to get at least some backstory on all of the characters who get the 9 rings. I feel like we should get some. Ooh, yeah. The effects of the 7 the 7 are in full effect right now. It's showing the power that it's holding over Durin, the king, and Durin the prince is getting very suspicious of them, making a promise that I don't know if he'll be able to uphold. I hope he does, because I don't want to see heartbreak come to that family. Yeah, because Sauron has to get impatient at a time like this, it means that his relationship with Celebrimbor is getting more strained by the second. Because Celebrimbor knows something's wrong. He knows something's wrong, and Sauron, he just has this way of twisting everything around, finding the slightest little slip up and using it against him. He's like, did you change the 7 rings in any way? And he was like, no, we did. We added deceit into it when you lied to the king, making it seem like his fault. And then when he was forging the 9 himself, with the aid of the workers, Did he count on that elf putting the ring on and becoming invisible? Holy shit! What a reveal that was. Did he count on that happening, or did he have to have a real quick think when he had a real quick think when she revealed what she was seeing during the time that she was invisible. Because the creature she was describing is obviously got to be Sauron. She was seeing Sauron as he actually is and not as he is appearing to them all. And then he twists it around and says it was Celebrimbor that you saw. Because the forging of the rings has made him into this thing. So he's turning the workers against him. Ooh, yes, I'm very excited for what's coming. But either way, I've got to get started with episode 6 now, so that's going to be it for episode 5. Until next time, we are over and out. Bye!